Hi folks, Pete here from Ashton's Cars. Today I'm showing you around a Volvo XC60. This is the four-wheel drive model. It's the 2.4 D5. It's kind of the one that you want in these because they do a two-wheel drive model as well. Obviously not desirable, and the diesel engine does give you the best economy in the range, so it's the one that I would always pick. This one's got the auto gearbox as well. That makes it even more desirable and certainly more appealing for myself. It suits the car, that auto box does perfectly. As you can see, it's quite a sharp looking car. They look like a miniature XC90 essentially. The XC90 has got 7 seats, this one has got 5, so that's the main difference in these two cars. But they do look very similar. They've got the familiar sort of Volvo look to them. Brilliant family cars, I will say. One of the best SUVs that you can buy. They've got a fantastic reputation for both reliability and just well sorted, good solid build quality as well. So they are sort of my own personal favourite in this sort of SUV range. Unless you go in, Japanese, really, these are the one that I would pick, to be honest with you, of all the European stuff that's on sale in this bracket. So let's have a quick look around the back of the car. It's got the tow bar on it. They've got a reasonable towing weight, these have as well. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head though what it is. They are quite a good looking car, I think, especially from the rear, because they've got twin exhausts. It has got a bit of a purposeful look to it, and obviously with the D5 engine, it's quite a powerful engine in it, 5-cylinder, and it does have the performance to match the looks. So while it's very practical for family use, it's also extremely good to drive. And I picked this particular car up from someone actually in Norfolk. So I've driven this car all the way back from Norfolk to South Wales, which is about 260 miles, and it drove absolutely brilliantly. I enjoyed every moment of the drive home. So it's had a very good test drive already, just come out of the valeters, but I did have to leave it here overnight because it was quite late last night when we got it back, and it's rained overnight, so excuse if there's a few watermarks and a little bit of some leaves on the roof at the moment. It has all been fully valeted though, and inside you will see it's immaculate condition. The car's got the original alloy wheels on it. I kind of think it's quite nice that they're not the hugely large wheels. These are only a 17-inch wheel. You can get these with 18s and 19s on them, but in actual fact the ride quality on this car with those 17-inch wheels on it is much better than the larger diameter alloys that you can get. So it's quite pleasant to have it with those wheels, and it still handles pretty sharply for a large SUV of its type. Finished in metallic black, as you can hopefully see. No real notable marks on the car. I mean, it is 13 years old. There is a very small little chip by there, I've just noticed. I'll get that touched in though for whoever has it. It has got the parking sensors on it as well. They're all working as they should. A couple of very light scratches by here, but nothing really. I mean, I will touch the car in. There's a couple of little door edge marks to do on it, but nothing really that stands out. It does look a very appealing car. It does not look like a car that's 13 years old. That's the most important thing. Just having a quick look inside it. We'll just go look through the passenger side a second. We'll have a look at the driver's cabin in a minute. But it's a nice design the dashboard is on these. They've got kind of this floating console here with some space behind it. I like that. It does make the car feel quite airy and spacious. Of course, it's Swedish, so they're good at interior design, hence they own IKEA. It's very well put together as well. The plastics are all very good quality. It's a car that has a nice sort of logical feel to it. All the dials are where you expect them to be. All the buttons are quite logically laid out, so it feels quite intuitive to drive. It's also got a nice reassuring thud when you shut the door, which you don't get on some of the other cars in this class. So just looking at the back of the car again, nice sculpted seats on it. They're kind of like a half leather design, but it's not leather. I think it's like a leatherette, so it'll be vegan friendly. So plenty of space in here though. Nice amount of headroom in the car. It's got the fold down armrest there in the middle as well, which is quite handy. And yeah, just a pleasant place to be really. Nice light headline, and does keep the interior of this car feeling quite airy and spacious inside, and that's ideal for the kids in the back. They won't feel too claustrophobic, hopefully, and that can prevent them having travel sickness. We've also got nice deep door bins for everyone, even the people at the back, which have got enough room in them for a cup or a can. And I do think if I fold this down, I can't do it with one hand, there is actually more cup holders and stuff in the back of that. But anyway, let's go have a look into the boot a second rather than me struggle with that. Conventional tailgate on it. It's not electric or anything like that. I actually prefer that, to be honest with you, though, because I find electric tailgates quite tedious. And we've got a nice, good sized boot, well proportioned, very sort of minimal intrusion by the wheel arches, which is good. This section here actually goes up like that. The reason for that is that you can put smaller items then into that section there, and they don't rattle about so much in your boot. So it's quite good design, in fairness, and it's something that Volvo have always done in their cars. Volvo, remember, have been masters of making SUVs and estate cars for many, many years. Have a look under here. We've got room for your tools and a few other bits in there, and there is a full-size spare wheel underneath that section again. Let's put that back down. Oh, one other thing. We have got the all-important 12-volt socket, which I've just broken by the looks. 12-volt socket in the back here, which we'll fix before you buy the car. Let's close this back up before it causes any more damage to it. Let's get into the all-important driver's cabin of the car. So, here I am. Plenty of room, lots of leg room in this car. Really, really good, in fairness. In fact, probably I did a bit of an injustice because I've got these seats right the way back at the minute. Because I just wanted it for comfort driving back from Norfolk. So I've probably made the rear compartment look smaller than it actually is. It's a huge car, really is. And it's nice, as I say, logically laid out. These are all just buttons for the airflow. I just touch the bit of me I want the air to go to, and it does it. It's got a nice dial for the fan. It's simple. I've got separate controls for the passenger and driver for temperature. And I've got a conventional automatic box, but it has got a tiptronic function if I want to change manually. On my steering wheel, I've got cruise control to the left, stereo controls to the right. It's nice and simple. Oh, and I've got a Parot phone kit as well. So I was able to hook my mobile phone up to the car for the journey home, which is a massive license saver for me and probably a massive convenience to you. My mirrors fold in when I lock the car. They obviously electrically come out when I unlock. And to start it, I just simply press the foot on the brake. I've got a little key that's inside that slot there, a little bit like BMW do. And I just press the button by here. And there she goes. So she fires up lovely, as you can hopefully hear. Instantaneous starting, idles smoothly, 124,000 miles on the clock. Let's give it a quick rev, as we always do. I'll just turn that fan down a second. That's right, it's on auto mode, so I'll just turn that off. Right, okay, let's give it a rev. I actually love the way this car sounds. It's got a nice sort of offbeat to it. I'll turn that off just so you can hear me a bit, but it's got a nice offbeat to it, a bit of a warble, because it's a 5-cylinder engine. I think that's really cool. It's not like a V6. It's a little bit more sort of offbeat to that. I think it's really, it's quite appealing sound, especially on the diesel like this. Doesn't sound like a 4-cylinder diesel. It's got a completely different sound to it. So that's really nice. And this floating console, as I say, it's nice and wide. I've got plenty of buttons on it, but I've got space behind it if I want to put some items there as well. So I've got my cup holders by here as well. And I've got a big armrest by here for extra storage if I want it. So nice, pleasant place to be. Again, massive door bins in the front as well. And I've got a nice commanding view of the road as well. So I like these cars. I think they're very, very appealing. 124,000 miles. Not really a huge amount of mileage for a car that's 13 years old. So, it's, if you think about it, less than 10,000 miles a year this car's done. Which, considering the type of car it is not high. And Volvos are built to do mileage. So, anyone thinking, oh God, 120,000 miles on a Volvo, is that going to be okay? Yes, the answer is. These cars, if they're properly serviced and looked after, they last a lifetime. They're really, really good quality cars. And the D5 engine's the best one they did. So don't be put off by that. So back outside again. I think it's a good looking car. I hope you agree. I think it looks proper Volvo, but it's definitely got that sort of SUV height and practicality about it, and it's just a Volvo really for the modern times. If it's of interest to you, please give me a shout. 07932 873 646. And please give me a like, but comment below if you've had any sort of Volvos yourself in the past, I'm sure there's going to be loads of people who can tell me what the maximum mileage they had out of their old Volvo. I used to have a 244 back in the day, many years ago, and that done, I think, about 500,000 miles when we sold it. And they've just got a very, very good reputation, these cars have. They have had this really strong reputation of being one of the best, one of the strongest and most safe cars on the road, but also one of the best for longevity. So yeah, I'd be interested to see who's had the highest mileage out of their Volvo today. But in the meantime, if this car is of particular interest, just pick up the phone and give me a call. My number is 07932 873 646. If you're interested in part exchanging or you need delivery anywhere in the UK, we're happy to do that. Just give us a ring, we'll put a deal together to suit you. And my number one more time to do that is 07932 873 646. Please give us a like, please comment, please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for watching today. Goodbye.